Well, hey guys, hi, Brent, Abel, WebTennis.com, and I've got a short course here for you to give you a couple of ideas and tips as how to defeat the lob kings and the lob queens out there. And, you know, especially when we've got a lob king or queen serving, what do? I mean, they really don't have very big serves. I mean, you know, their goal is to get the ball in play and step back a couple of feet and sort of hope, almost invite with kind of a medium pace serve, have you kind of step up here and just kind of tee off and get a nice return of serve back cross court. You know, this server's partner is never going to poach because that would defeat the lob fest, right? So you know that you get this wide open lane cross court, and what do? Yeah, I mean, you hit a good cross court return of serve, you start to move in, your partner now moves up, and that's right, here we go. Here comes the lob fest. So what we got to do is give the serving team a shot that they don't want. And so what I want you to do is I want you, first of all, to resist that temptation that when you get a medium pace serve from the server who lobs, is resist the temptation to come up here, take it early, kind of crack it hard back cross court. And instead, and I want you to watch the drills below this video, which will show you how to develop feel for this shot, but I want you to start them off with a drop shot return to serve over here. Obviously away from the server's partner. I want you to force the server to come up, and you know your partner here is not going to close tight on the net. They're really going to hang back right about here, just inside the service line, and you're going to come up to just about here. Now, as you get good at developing this shot, once in a while, yeah, it's going to be a clear, outright winner drop shot. But that's not your intention. It's just putting too much pressure on yourself to have to execute that every time. But what you're trying to do is you're trying to get this server thinking that they're now going to have to run up and sort of scoop this thing up to you guys. And unless from down here, they hit a perfect shot, which, is really so much tougher to hit a lob from here than it is from back here in the baseline. Now you've got these guys, the serving team, positioned where they don't want to be, and you've got a much easier shot to handle. Once you show this server that, this is kind of your play, is this little drop shot return of serve in here, what's going to happen in the next, you show that 2 or 3 times, now what's going to happen is the server's going to play their serve. They're going to step in anticipating that. And one thing you could do, I mean, you've got a lot of choices, is you could really sort of knife it right down at their feet, not play a drop shot, but go right at their feet, a shot they don't want. You could play a quick little lob over the server's partner, again, making this lob extra tough as they're having to move to the side. There's a lot of options that you've got. But the thing you really have got to resist on this return of serve is that you don't play it deep back here, and then you guys kind of go into the traditional kind of net positions as if this player was about to hit a ground stroke at you. So that's the first thing to do. Now, let's kind of reverse the roles here to where you guys are now serving. And hold on, let me get everyone in a position here. And we're going to say now this is you, right? The server. And you're sorry. You actually serve the ball. And this player, what do they like to do? Well, they like to start the point off with a lob. So, once they show you that a couple times, here's what I like to do, is to have this serving partner, rather than being up in here, you can start here, you can have that player start here, but just as this player is about to lob that return, have this player take a couple of steps back and get ready to hit that overhead. And, unless it's a super deep lob, which, if this player is up here tight in the net after the serve, it doesn't take a very deep lob to, put them in trouble. So this is a bit of a disguise. I want this player, your server's partner, being here instead of showing that they're closing the net. But just before this player starts that lob fest, have this gal take a step or two back in anticipation of getting that lob. And, obviously you got to work on your overheads because you got to make them pay. Now, the way you make them pay is you take this overhead and you got to make sure that you don't play it back here, but you've got to get it down to this player's feet here. You don't have to hit a winner, but you've got to get it down to this player's feet and force them to have to hit up. Ideally from here, if this player's already back, they haven't had to play an overhead where they've had to back up and, continue after the overhead, is they play the overhead from this part of the court almost like an approach shot down to this player's feet. They can start to close. And, if you're the server, you can kind of see all of this developing off of the initial lob, this player going back. You are now starting to move in anticipation of this happening, your partner moving back, the overhead getting down here, hit down here, and now you coming in. And from here, the rest of the point is, you just don't play anything back to this player. If this player stays back because they want to lob, any ball you get, and you're going to see in one of the drills below, whether it's your partner or whether it's you, you're going to play drop volleys in here. You're not going to play a standard deep volley simply because reality is we can't really force this player back here with a tough enough volley to be able to, force him into a sort of an unforced error or kind of a weak lob. So you're going to develop that drop volley and again, start them moving up. And once you show this 2-3 times, what's this player going to do in anticipation of the next one? They're going to start to move in so that they can get to it. And you can see them start to do that. And now you just play it right down at their feet. So, guys, look, obviously this takes some practice. This takes some time. And you're going to screw up a few times as you kind of tinker with it, experiment it. And, even if the first couple where you get this play where, you're playing a drop shot, or let's say you're playing a drop shot, return to serve, even if you only win, let's say 2 out of the first 4, that's a great winning percentage for putting, the possibility into this lob king or this lob queen's mind that a drop shot is imminent, and they're going to start looking for it. So if you have any questions below the videos, there's a comment section. Let me know, and get into those videos. There's a lot of content below this one that'll help you develop the feel for not only the drop volley but also for drop shots in general, which is going to help you with that drop shot return to serve. All right, as always, get out there and make it another great day.